Hello, I'm Valerie from Monsieur Ed, a publishing house located in Montreal. And today I want to talk to you about four of our latest books, which had some success. This one, for example, which is called I Don't Like Your Dress, was written by Daniel Chaperon and illustrated by Samuel Quentin, who is also a he does like graphic novels for adult, and he's written a few movies and a few plays, so he's kind of a up and coming author here in Montreal. So this book is presented as a comic book for kids from around 5 to 8, and it presents a very common situation where the boy character wants to be friends with the little girl, but he doesn't know how to approach her. So instead of saying, "Hey, I would like to be your friend," he says, "I don't like your dress." And of course she replies by, "I don't like your sneakers." And then they go on with this verbal kind of cute insults like, "I don't like your bag, I don't like your hat." And then it grows into something like, "I can swing higher than you." "Oh yeah, well, I can swing all the way to the moon. In fact, I'm the queen of the moon." And they go on and on like that until they become like gnarks and other kind of aliens. And their story brings them back to always in the schoolyard because of the little cat who keeps bringing them back to reality. And of course, at the end, they try to better each other. They try to be best than the other person. But at the end, their imagination will bring them together, and they will find rock and decide to, instead of being one against the other, to build their own imaginary kingdom together. So it's a funny book, and here it won prizes at the Montreal Comic Book Festival and has been in nomination in other awards too. Second book I would like to talk to you about is called Stormy Nights by author and illustrator Marianne Ferrer. This one was on the shortlist for the Governor's General Award, which is a big thing here in Canada. And it's inspired by her dog who passed away while she was working on this project. So Marianne has a very symbolic, sweet style, which all her stories integrate a lot of nature. And this one is no different. And we follow Owl, who on a stormy night cannot stay up in the sky because the storm is too big. And he will go to the ground and meet this character which seems to come from Thunder, which is kind of a little electric dog who doesn't talk. But they will spend the evening together and get to know each other and accept each other in their differences, and even help each other out, because when they get to Owl's house, there's an electric shortage. But the electric dog, being electric, can help with making tea, and so they share a moment together. And at the end, the next day, they go back out and have fun until it's time for the dog to go. Sorry, it's very hard to kind of talk and flip pages at the same time. So there's another storm, and then Owl understands that the dog wants to go back home in the sky, and he will find a way to help him by wearing the rubber boots, because of course, since the dog is electric, he can't touch him, otherwise he'll get electrocuted. So, and at the end, we see that even though the dog is gone back up to where he lives. He's still looking over Owl because he's keeping the rain from him. So it's a sweet story about meeting through adversity and making friends in differences. Other book I would like to present is The Garden of Mr. Kuroki, which is based on a true story from a Japanese couple. This couple wanted to visit the world when their children were grown and they were done with raising cows, but unfortunately Mrs. Kuroki, she lost her sight. So she became depressed because she couldn't see anything. And so because of that, Mr. Kuroki, let me show you these pages. So this is the couple. So it's not a biography, it's inspired by their life. So she was fading more and more into depression, and Mr. Kuroki had an idea of building a garden because that's when he remembered that when she was happy and laughing. So he decided to transform their fields where the cows once were into a field of purple phlox, which was her favorite flower. And this idea of a garden, I forgot to say, all the books are for kids around 4 to 8. So Mrs. Kuroki, so the garden, because it was so big and so magnificent, started to attract tourists, and as they came to visit, they started to talk with Mrs. Kuroki and telling them about their lives, and so through their words she could travel. And at the end, she didn't recover her sight, but she recovered her happiness and her smile. And so this is a very great book filled with love, unconditional love, about empathy, adversity. Very sweet, and we just published this one, and it's getting a lot of attention. The other book I want to tell you about is called The Garden. I don't have it still in production. Well, I mean, it's coming out next month. So this is a blank copy, but I have pages. So it's called The Garden. And so I will show you a couple of pages of my favorite pages. And in this book, we follow 2 little cats who are building a garden. So this one is starting 2 or 3 because it's very, very simple, and it's just about the joy of nature and a little bit also about making a garden and how the joy of growing your own food. But it's not like a documentary or an instruction book. It's really more about enjoying it, although we go through the steps of choosing seeds and watering the seeds and harvesting. It's really more about enjoying and sharing also the food that we've collected. I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time with all the pages because I'm showing you like the proofs. And so we follow, there's a little recipe with very simple tomato soup, a little origami of how you can create a little pouch to conserve the seeds, and how it's nice also to cook for yourself and maybe share a meal with your friends. So this is also a very, very cute book about the joy of nature and gardening. So that is it for me, and yes, hopefully you enjoy my eclectic presentation. Thank you so much.